Now, here's the thing for you. Welcome back to the kitchen. And these D lights that are made for third world countries to give them electric lighting via a little solar panel instead of horrible oil lights and candles and this sort of thing. Now, this one is one of a batch which had a most peculiar fault on it. If you let them go flat completely, it didn't matter the solar panel being connected or not, it simply wouldn't charge up again. But I have found a way around this. I just charge the battery pack direct through this jack here, this socket. But it still does a funny thing. If I let it go flat completely, it won't start. And what I have to do is to push a screwdriver into that very quickly and short circuit it very quickly, and then it'll run. Very odd indeed, but at least I've found a way to make it work. Now, they were very kind and sent me a replacement. Well, they sent my friends who own the wood a replacement actually, because it's their baby, so to speak. And it came with another little solar panel, the same as this one came with, of course. But I don't honestly think that the solar panel has enough output for use in the northern hemisphere. And perhaps they need to consider doing two versions so that you've got one for use in Africa and India, where, let's face it, you do get a lot more sunlight than you do up here in somewhat chilly England and other such like northern hemisphere countries. And I often think to myself, they need a solar panel with about double the power output because it simply won't charge itself up. It takes a charge because I drove to the wood the other day, ironically enough, and plugged it into the mobile telephone charger that goes in my car cigar lighter. And yes, whoopee, it worked, but the solar panel, it won't have it at all. See, that's from my car cigar lighter thing rather than the solar panel. So, yeah, I don't know. I still think that it was a case that they needed to perhaps put a little bit more thought into the design. And the funny thing is that although this is made for third world countries, it's not actually made in one of those countries. You'd think perhaps that they would establish plants in places where they're likely to sell them, and even if they ship them out there as a kit of parts and then they're assembled locally, and things have been done like that for years. I mean, at one time even railway electric MU carriages were done like that for abroad, sent out as a kit of parts and assembled in, say, Australia or India, wherever it was they were going to be used, South Africa. But yeah, so it's a bit disappointing, that thing. So yeah, the only cure will be a bigger, well, a greater capacity solar panel, probably about double. But you do need to think about these things before doing them. It's I know it sounds corny and probably a bit condescending, but there wasn't enough thought. Something else I saw a while ago on the telly was Fred's place, and I was tuning their set in, was these disgusting toilets. And they make them out of concrete pipes. Oh, God, vile. Concrete pipe segments are put in the ground, and then when one is filled up, it's simply capped off, and that's it. It then composts. But what worries me is that this too is aimed at the third world, by the way. What happens to all the stuff? If all the sewage in there will surely leach down into the ground and into the water table, and then they're going to be faced with the same problems that we had up until the Victorian times in this country, where people, especially in places like London, say, were busily pumping up water from water pumps in their backyards, and all the time cesspits under the houses and streams that were being used as sewers were leaching into this water. And is it any wonder they got ill? And I can't help thinking that this concrete pipe idea might do the same thing. Oh dear, you couldn't make it up, could you? But, no, me, I don't use funny toilets. I have a proper hopper. The pull and let go clank bang system, it can't be surpassed. In my view, proper Victorian solid engineering. But yeah, it certainly does make you wonder, doesn't it? Anyway, with that, I'll see you soon.